Hi, my name is Chrissy, and you may have just watched my other video. I talked about my experience with my breast aug, and I've had a second procedure done here, so now I'm going to talk about my mini tummy tuck. I didn't have both procedures done at the same time. They were about a year and a half or I think about a year and a half apart. And when I did the first one, I think I would have liked to do the second one, but I wasn't sure and I wanted to wait. And with having a mini tummy tuck, I wasn't sure about having future children, and I hadn't really made up my mind about some of those things. So I was so pleased with the other, I kind of couldn't wait to have the mini tummy tuck. And probably a month later I was ready to do it, but I did wait a little bit. And so the procedure was wonderful. I called back up and said, I'm a previous patient of Dr. Boschert's and I think this is what I want to do. And they said, wonderful, come back in. And so I came back in and told Dr. Boschert, hey, this is where I'm at. I feel very sexy again, having my breast aug, but after having 3 children, I hate the way my stomach looks. And I hate having to suck in at every picture that I take. And, I felt like I was a small frame person, but that I had, people will say, you're so little all the time. And I said, well, you haven't seen me naked. And
you're a runner too.
Yes,
so
I'm
you
an athlete.
a lot. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I finally found is that as an athlete for years, I've run a marathon and many half marathons and triathlons and a million crunches for years. It just didn't get better. And really it was like a skin issue I just had like a pocket of skin that was kind of wrinkly and gross, and it just wasn't going away. And after I hit 30, hello muffin tops, you work out, they're there, and it's like nothing helps them. So I wasn't happy, and I think in some ways I almost became a little, obsessive about it when I would get changed, and I would look at my stomach and just kind of feel disgusted. And as a confident person, that didn't make me feel good. And so it was great coming in to talk to him, and he's, I didn't feel like I needed anything totally major. It was this lower pocket of skin that was there under my belly button. And when he saw me, he's like, above your belly button is great, and probably where a lot of the athletics and stuff helped, but, below it, absolutely, there's quite a bit of skin there that we can, get rid of. And then when I was there, I'm like, can you do something about the muffin tops? And he said, yeah, we can do some lipo while we're at it to try to get you to have your waist again. And, not only have a flat stomach, but to have your waist again. So that was my first visit, and I was thrilled by it. I felt great. I went ahead and scheduled, as I did with my last procedure then, for about 2 months out, I believe. And so then I came back in for my follow-up appointment, which was about a week before. And I saw him again, and we were able to go over it again. And I had some questions. I'd had some time to think about it, which was, I asked him, and I'm like, other people talk about having, muscle things, do I need to have muscle work? And in my case, I did not. The muscles were good. It was, the skin and the fat, really, quite honestly, that was there. And so we were able to talk about those things. And I was worried about the scar. How far is it going to go? Can you see it with a swimsuit? And I wore a pair of underwear that day, which is the cut that I like. And he was able to show me that, wearing something like this, you're not going to be able to see your scar. And that made me feel better, because if I can see the scar, that's okay, but I don't want everyone at the swimming pool to see it, because, that's my own personal choice, and it's not really for everybody else to know what I did there. So that was great. Had all the questions answered, and was able to prepare me for what the surgery was going to be like, how I would feel after it, and things I hadn't thought about, like that I was going to have to wear a little compression sleeve after for several weeks, and I wanted to know what was my activity level going to be like. When could I run again or do certain things? And great to get all the education on that and to get some just, yeah, real answers of this is exactly how you're going to feel. And, you know, went in to have the surgery that day. And just like with my last one, felt very comfortable and very excited. And, you know, put to sleep, and a couple of hours later, you know, woke up and everything was kind of bundled up there. So this surgery, I felt a little bit more coherent though afterwards, and by the next day feeling better. And every day for that first week you feel a little better and a little better. And I will never forget the first time I took off that compression thing and I looked in the mirror, and man, I almost cried. And I'm like, I've got like chills even talking about it. It was like I have a waist again, and I have like a flat stomach. I had not had it since I was 18 years old. And again, I took pictures, and I had taken some of my own before pictures, and I just kept looking at them before and after, and I'm like, wow. And the fact that they said, you know, you're still swollen, you know, it's going to, you know, get even better, you know, slowly as time goes, but total wow factor. And it did get better, you know, over the first month, you know, really saw the, you know, the progression of, you know, the swelling goes down, and, you know, how great it looked. And the lipo, you know, amazing. And really just all of it put together, you know, made me feel like I had that body that you see on people who have great bodies, and that was crazy to me. And that first summer at the pool was just fabulous. And I guess that's where I'm at, which was sort of a two-stage process to get where it is, and I feel beautiful, and I don't think anybody will ever tell me anything different. And so I think it changed my life, I think.
Do you have a piece of advice for somebody who might be watching this that hasn't picked up the phone yet, that hasn't taken that step? Do you have a piece of advice for them?
I guess it's saying, you know, if you're even thinking about this, why live with that unhappiness, knowing that it's okay to change how you are if you're not happy? And why wouldn't you, if you can, it can just bring some happiness and make you feel beautiful again.
Would you recommend Dr. Boschert and the Renaissance? Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I do all the time. And anybody who's talking about it, I'm like, call Dr. Boschert. You know, you'll be so happy.
Thank you so much, Chrissy.
Thank you.